What's up, man? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment here again with another one. Before I get this video started, let me give a shout out to my boy Too Raw for TV. If you haven't, or Too Raw for Sports, either one, he's got multiple channels. If you haven't subbed to Too Raw for TV, definitely sub to his channel. Uh, he's an overall historian. He's not just a basketball philosopher or historian. He's an overall a historian, and don't skip a beat when you talk about history. Let me repeat that. He does not skip a beat, won't miss nothing, and goes into great detail. So definitely go sub to his channel because he was the first one to really talk about this and give people game on this situation right here. So again, go sub to his channel. Definitely one of the LDBC bros holding it down. Also want to give a shout out to all of my subs that's been supporting me throughout this process. We're still grinding and growing, still doing our thing, man. We should, the way I see it, we all grinding together because this channel don't grow and this channel don't go anywhere without y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like and the sub, the comment, notifications, do all that good stuff. Like I say, you know the deal, you know the drill. Let's dive right into this thing. Isaiah Thomas came out and basically said that Kyrie Irving missing would make the Brooklyn Nets fall short, pretty much saying that without Kyrie Irving, they would not be winning anything. I totally agree. I agree with the great Isaiah Thomas. Now, you got to understand and you got to realize that Isaiah Thomas, he played the game at the highest level at one of the most in one of the most physical eras in basketball and one of the most fundamentally sound eras in basketball. Not necessarily most athletic or anything, but at the same token, he knew team basketball. Regardless of what you want to say about Isaiah Thomas and the Bad Boy Pistons, because when you think of the Bad Boy Pistons, everybody thinks about the physicality, the rugged style, the rough and tough, beat 'em up style of game that they played. But a lot of people don't understand is that they were team oriented and they were fundamentally sound too, despite all of the physicality that people talk about. Those guys could really play basketball, but hey, if you needed to get a little dirty, you needed to get a little dirty. And this is another thing. I have to keep saying this time and time again. They weren't the only ones that were playing physical, especially in the '80s and going into somewhat the '90s, but mainly the '80s. It wasn't just them playing physical. It's just that they got a bad rap because they what they did was beat opponents pretty much at their own game, especially after they outdid the Celtics because the Celtics were bullying them for a lot of years. When you talk about the Celtics, the Sixers, even the Milwaukee Bucks. But anyways, man, I'm digressing. I'm not going to stay on that. Basically, what I'm saying is that in the midst of all that, Isaiah Thomas was what you call a true point guard. Pass first, set the table, bringing the best out of each and every one of their teammates, knowing where each and every person is or their personnel is supposed to be on the floor. So he has the right, I feel, to say whether or not without Kyrie Irving, the team is not going anywhere. People have to understand that Kyrie Irving, he's not he's not what you call a true point guard. I would say more so he's along the lines of a scoring point guard. Um, more of a I would say a hybrid AI, and that's no knock on my boy AI. I don't feel that he has as much heart as AI, but in terms of you could say handles and skills and everything, he took it to a whole nother level. But it was guys like Tim Hardaway, guys like AI, guys like White Chocolate, that took handles and had handles, and they established that at first. But he's not what you would call a true point guard. But in terms of finishing, in terms of when he when he wants to not razzle and dazzle, as I've said before, and just get straight to the point, shoot the shot, and be done with it, Kyrie Irving is lethal and most dangerous when he plays that way. I put it to you like this: if Kyrie Irving was to play the way that Isaiah Thomas played, or play the way that guys like Magic Johnson, Terry Porter, um, who else am I missing? Uh, some of the great point guards. Take it back to Oscar Robinson. Even like Spud Webb, Doc Rivers, uh, Walt Clyde Frazier, Tiny Archibald, those guys like that. If he was to play, truly pass first, Kyrie Irving would be on a whole another level, because then you got to worry about him distributing, much less worry about him scoring. A lot of people don't understand that he shot from the mid range. He shot 50%, and also at one point this year he was shooting well above 50% from three pointers. He was doing 50% from the mid range. And that was at one point. I'm not too sure what he shot overall. If somebody helped me out, that's fine. But I know he was well over 50%. Shooting from the just mid range alone. And see, that was coupled with him just going in and just straight up scoring. He said, "Look, I'm not here to play no game. I'm not here to Uncle Drew you. I'm not here to wow you. I'm not here to do any of that. I'm not here to do any of that. I'm here to just get to the basket and put the ball in the hole." You know, and Brooklyn definitely needs that. You saw the missing link. Now, people are gonna constantly say, okay, well, like Tura alluded to, touching on his point, he basically was saying that a lot of people are talking about, well, Brooklyn would have won if Kyrie wasn't there and all this other. Look, we can say that, we can debate that all day, and they have a fair argument, and I know my guy, wait, what? Shout out to him. He sat up there and brought up the fact that hey, they beat him by 50 and everything, but we can't sit here and be a prisoner of the moment off of just one game, because a lot of other situations were taking place too. Like I alluded to with that situation, Joe Harris was missing in action, and then as the course went on, Blake Griffin was a no show. It was a lot of other things that took place too. What about James Harden? What if he had got hurt? He had lingering hamstring issues, the same type of lingering hamstring issue that got Mike Conley Jr. out of the game with Utah, and you see what that did to him. So we got to take that into account too. There's so many variables that a lot of people don't take into consideration, but they automatically getting their feelings to get emotional about just one damn player, and it's not like that. But Isaiah Thomas, he does know and understand, and he sees the game a lot different than a lot of people may see it. Kyrie Irving was really playing at a phenomenal level this year. Did he struggle with some things? Yeah, he did, but nevertheless, he still played great. And I'm not one of those coulda woulda shoulda type. The past is the past. Brooklyn, I mean Brooklyn. They fell short. We can't sit here and always make injuries an excuse. What you have to understand is that if you go back into the course of history, that's happened to a lot of teams. I've said it time and time again. They're not the only one, and a lot of people don't understand that Giannis was hurt too. Giannis was hurt too. He didn't make any excuses. He still came out there. And I'm gonna say it again. I've already made a video about this before. I'm gonna say this time and time again. I wish they would stop pushing this narrative that Giannis potentially got Kyrie hurt on purpose. Giannis is not that type of player. Giannis didn't know what was going on. Giannis was just blocking out. It happens in basketball. People get their feet taken out all the time. You know when it's not on purpose, and you know when it's on purpose. And a lot of people, they want to sit here and they want to put narratives to make Giannis look bad or a particular player look bad. It's Man, these guys, the majority of these guys, man, they want to compete, and they want to compete at the highest level. Now, there's some guys that, unfortunately, like Glenn Baby Davis. Okay, what's up, Scrub Zero? Salute to you this morning. There's guys like Glenn Big Baby Davis talking about, oh yeah, well, uh, that was for Lucky and all this other BS, wishing ill will on the player. Hey, I don't even worry about that. You know why? Because the universe takes care of that. The universe takes care of whatever negativity that you push out there. Let the universe take care of that. But he was wrong. He was wrong for that. And when you have a dynamic player like Kyrie Irving, when he came in, he was full of joy. When Kyrie Irving had first came into the league, he was full of joy, full of happiness. But I think he's seen the kind of cutthroat side of professional sports. Just like you see the cutthroat side of the hip hop industry, just like you see the cutthroat side of the corporate world, just like you see the cutthroat side of any career path that you go down. There's going to be a cutthroat side. I don't care what nobody said, and he's seen that, and so now he's over it. Listen, I don't get into Kyrie Irving about, oh yeah, the earth is flat and he thinks this way. Uh, him doing the sage and all that other stuff. No, what are you going to do on the court? Much like with Russell Westbrook and the whole the skirt thing. Sure, he might be wearing a skirt, but what if he come out there and dunk on your motherfucking ass? You won't be thinking about no motherfucking skirt then. So I'm not paying attention to what the guy was. I wish he wouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's what he chose to do. That he's his own human being. If Kyrie Irving want to, make uh, the prediction that the Earth is flat, shoot, that's on him. But it doesn't have anything to do with how that guy could finish soft off the glass, could cross you up, can have two or three counters going to the basket, can spin cycle on you, can pull up, can have multiple moves going inside and out, can dance with the rock, can be a straight killer at the last seconds, hitting one of the most deadliest and daggering shots in NBA Finals history. It doesn't have anything to do with that. Dennis Rodman wore a wedding dress, and he was the damn bride. You think that stopped him from getting 30 rebounds? No, it didn't. It has nothing to do with what the hell they doing. Now, are you going to get criticized? Yeah, absolutely. Are people going to get on your head about it? Pause. Absolutely. People are going to get on your helmet about it, and that's just something that you're going to have to take when you're dealing with social media. But Isaiah Thomas did have a great point. He did say without Kyrie Irving, Brooklyn's not gonna go anywhere. But I mean, shoot, without KD, Brooklyn's not going anywhere. Hey, I'm willing to say this: without James Harden, Brooklyn ain't going nowhere. They they need hey, look, they need a healthy KD, they need a healthy Kyrie, and they need a healthy Harden if they want to go anywhere. It's not just about being there. It's not just about being there. They need to be healthy. Yeah, availability is fine, but what about reliability? You ever think about that? Everybody thinks about, oh yeah, the best ability is availability. Yeah, that's true. But I'd rather you be available and reliable at the same time. You could be available all day, but if you get out there and you're not 100%, then what point does that make? I need you to be 100%, at least 80%, giving it your all. That's the situation what happened with our squad and Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Okay, shoot, you're available, but you're not 100%. You gave it your all. Like with Ben Simmons, look, it's not the injuries I'm talking about with 100%. You're not playing 100%. You're playing scared, tentative. We can't use you. I'm not gonna go down that road again, but it's just an example. It's about availability and reliability. These guys got to be 100% healthy, and more importantly, they got to be 100% invested in what they're doing. Now, I know that Nick Wrong is trying to push every type of narrative, saying, oh, "Okay, well, this and that about Kyrie," because of course they do have an agenda and everything. But if Kyrie, in the back of his head, he is feeling that way about retirement, I would not be mad at Kyrie. He's over the NBA. A lot of players feel that way. Like they're disgusted with the NBA. There's a lot of guys that would rather just play overseas than to have to deal with the bullshit until the league really just starts changing. All of these changes and stuff like that. There's a lot of guys that don't feel comfortable with the NBA play-in or whatever. They think it's stupid. What are we trying to do? We're trying to turn this into wild card football or something. This is basketball. Leave it the way it is. Oh well, we got to have play between the eighth and ninth seed and all this other bullshit. No, you got 82 motherfucking games in order to get your ass right. If you don't do it, sorry for that. We're gonna cut your ass off. But see, that's the thing. I feel like if you're gonna change something like that, oh, okay, well you're gonna have to rewrite some things. What about those teams that had eight and ninth seed that were above 500? What about those eighth and ninth seed? Blase. You change up a lot of things, but that's a part of evolution. Just like when the NBA stole from the ABA and the 3-point line came about, and then they allowed zones and they took away hand checking and all this other stuff. The league it evolves and it grows. But what I don't want is no damn in season tournament. I why are you gonna do an in season tournament for $1 million? That makes no sense. You don't see all these changes going on in the MLB. You have some changes going on in the MLB. The only change they made in the NFL was they added another game, and then of course the helmet to helmet rules and some other changes that they made in the NFL. Other than that, everything's still pretty much the same. You know, you got 82 games. You got 82. You got 82 games to get right. 82 games is a lot of games. That's people that can't run 82 days out of the year, much less even play. So you got a lot of time to get that right. But Isaiah Thomas, man, just to say the least, he was right. He was right. He was straight on point. I agree with him 100%. The ship doesn't move without Kyrie. But like I said, I'll take it a step further. The ship doesn't move without KD, of course, and the ship doesn't move without Harden. And now they got a great addition with LaMarcus Aldridge. Look, never mind the heart situation. Look, he's out there. There ain't nothing I could do about it. He repping for Texas. There's a lot of guys that wish he would not play. I don't want him to play. But if he's happy out there, that's great. But it's like, okay, I'm gonna be bracing myself watching LaMarcus, and I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to do that at all. You know, a lot of guys, they sit here and they think that just because you know a player is missing, that that's the that's it. That's the end of the world. You got to have a next man up type of mentality. You know, that's why they have backups. What's up with it, 3,000? That's why they have backups. Okay, I I I don't want anybody around me that's gonna cry and throw a hissy fit if something goes wrong or we're missing a person or oh man, such and such is gone. What are you playing the sport for? Are you just there just to be a bench warmer? No. Are you there just to ride the pond? No. You're in there, you're scouting. And once you get your opportunity, that's great. Uh, I'm pretty sure that whoever I think what Bruce Brown, uh, whoever is going to be backing up Kyrie. Uh, I'm pretty sure that they got to have that type of mentality coming in. Or if anybody's backing up KD, they got to have that type of mentality coming in. Whoever's backing them Harden and so forth. You can't just be like, oh, well, we're missing such and such. Man, what are we gonna do? Can't do that. You can't do that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of guys ain't doing that. And you got to go out there. You still got to fight. Now the media didn't eat them up alive as much as I thought they would. As much as I thought they would. I'm thoroughly surprised. I'm thoroughly surprised. But they were on their helmet, just for a little bit. And then they kind of backed up. But now they're trying to brew that whole narrative again about Kyrie and stuff. And Isaiah Thomas, I think he did a great thing by coming out and saying something. He said pretty much without Kyrie and without him playing, the Nets are going nowhere. A lot. Isaiah Thomas has said some questionable things, like he doesn't feel that Michael Jordan is the GOAT because Kareem won at all five. I mean, at all levels. I say all five levels. All all levels. When you talk about high school, college, and the pros, that's debatable. But he was on point with this one. So like this video, share it, subscribe, also hit the notifications too, so that you're able to get each and every one of my videos. Until then, man, it's Polo Sports Talking ENT, man. I'm gonna get at y'all later.